huge barrier to learning the Bible is just feeling stupid, not knowing what other people seem to know, and then assuming that learning will be too hard and take too long. And that's understandable. The Bible's not only a huge book, it's complicated. It's a full library. It covers 4,000 years of history, and it includes this wide range of literary styles: historical narrative, genealogies, allegory, parables, poetry that doesn't rhyme, wild symbolic imagery that ends up on heavy metal bands' album covers, and mysteries like the whole 666 number of the beast thing. But there is a cure for feeling stupid, I promise. It's 5 simple principles of Bible interpretation and engagement that are easy to remember because it's just 5 words and easy to apply across all of the Bible. That means the books that are the shortest of all, the ones I recommend you start with, and the larger books. Now, these 5 principles are based on what I learned when I was in a university environment, and they are the kinds of things they will teach you in a university if you're wanting to get a degree in the Bible. Plus, I've been teaching the Bible for over 25 years, and I can promise you they work. Number 1 is curiosity. Curiosity is the antidote to feeling stupid. There's an author that I never heard of said something great about curiosity. He said, "Curiosity is the willing, proud, and eager confession of ignorance." It's embracing your ignorance, and that is liberating. It's using your ignorance and your feeling stupid as fuel instead of as a barrier. In other words, you see yourself as an explorer. You see yourself as going on a journey where, yeah, you don't know a lot of things, but that's the fun part. You're going to learn all kinds of things. What curiosity does is it says, listen, the Bible is by far the best-selling book in the history of the world. It's the most studied book in the history of the world. It's the most influential book in the history of the world, and not only that, it claims about itself to be the God of the universe speaking to us. So curiosity says, you know what? I want to learn that thing. I'm anxious to know what's in there, and I'm willing to do the things that it takes to do it, because that's what curiosity can do as a driver, because it is going to require some study. It's going to require looking up words, looking up terms, familiarizing yourself with some things that maybe you didn't quite understand. But that's the whole point, is curiosity is a fuel. Number 2. Context. If you want to understand the Bible in the most responsible way, you really need to pay attention to context, because some verses in the Bible, they do stand alone. That's what they're famous for. But sometimes when you remove a sentence out from its immediate context, it really changes the meaning in a way that's not responsible. So you want to pay attention to that. And context is all about the flow of thought, of understanding what went before a sentence, what comes after it, to understand what was really going on. So, okay, when I was younger, I did something that was really, really dumb, but my only comfort is I have a feeling I'm not the only person who has ever done this. So I thought, okay, well, the Bible is God talking to us, right? So if I want him to talk to me, what I'll do is I'll ask him a question, I'll pray something, and I'll let the Bible fall open and close my eyes and point and see what it says. And there it said Nebuchadnezzar. So that didn't really have anything for me. So I'd say, okay, best out of 2 out of 3. And then I'd flip it over and I would say something else. And if it said something negative or something I didn't understand or didn't like, I would try again and again and again. Now, again, I don't think I'm the only person that ever did that. A lot of us, because we think the Bible, it's the Word of God, we treat it like a magic 8-ball or something, which is a magic 8-ball still a thing? I really don't know. But that's how we approach it. But we need to remember something. The Bible is a book, and as we've said, it is a library of books. So one of the things that we need to understand is read it like you would a book, and you read a book in its context. You look at who is the author? What are they trying to say? Who is the audience? What are the problems that are trying to be solved? What's the author trying to say to his audience to make them understand? And just be honest with that. And context is all about seeing a word, seeing the words that surround that word, and being honest about its interpretation. Number 3 is culture. And this is where I would say Bible study gets really, really fun. You'll have your most aha moments, arguably, when you really dig into the culture. What is culture? Culture is everything from the institutions to art, to language, to the assumptions that the people of that time had, because they had normal imagery every day, things that they were used to, language that they were used to, that we're not. And to understand what they were thinking, what they heard, is very, very important. Look at it this way. If I were to say to you, an LA hipster and a Texas redneck went into a bar, what would you think? You would think, okay, I'm setting up for a joke. And I apologize, I'm not setting up for a joke. But because in our culture, that's what sometimes jokes sound like. But we have two individuals pictured in our mind, what they believe, how they think, and it can set up for a joke. That comes from our culture. We can use shorthand. We can say simple things that we bring in our minds all kinds of different information to. And it was exactly the same way back in Bible times. And what the goal needs to be when you're studying the Bible is to think, what did the original audience hear based upon their culture? And if you'll understand that, I promise you, you will have some great discoveries that will really make the Bible come alive to you. I hope these helped, and I hope you'll subscribe. See you next time.